Hello my amazing YT family, how are we all doing? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to be sharing this recipe on my channel, all thanks to sweet Adjeley. This is one snack I enjoyed growing up. I've actually been trying out different recipes looking for this particular recipe until I tried sweet Adjeley's recipe for savory chin chin, and immediately my taste buds sent a signal to my brain saying this is that fish pie crust recipe that you have actually been looking for. So sit back, relax, let's make this together. If you're new here, welcome. Do not forget to click the subscribe button if you like what you see, and to my returning subscribers, I appreciate all of you. Let's get right into the video. So to the fish, in the pot there I have one mackerel already cut and washed. Now I'm adding ginger, garlic, thyme, salt. I'm also going to be adding some onions, and we're going to add a little water, and we will be steaming for 8 to 10 minutes. After 8 to 10 minutes it is ready. I'll bring it out from the pot. What we're going to do next now is that we are going to be deboning it, and then we'll be frying again. So I'm just taking out the bones. Make sure to remove all of the tiny bones in it, and then shred it into pieces. Shred, shred, shred. That's what I'm actually doing at this point. You want to be very careful to ensure that all the bones are taken out. Shred and mash into bits, like pieces. So sweet Adjeley actually used meat when she did the pie. I am using fish because that is what I am used to, because I'm trying to bring back my childhood memory. Okay, now we are going to be frying the fish. In the pan there I already have my oil. Now I'm putting in onions. We are going to saute for a bit until it is translucent and releases all its flavors into the oil. So when I was growing up, I grew up when we had lots of Ghanaians living in Nigeria back then, in the late 80s and 90s. In the pot there I've just added more seasoning to the onions. I added pepper, garlic to the onions, and I'll just stir as well. So I was saying, back in the late 80s and early 90s, we used to have a lot of Ghanaians living in Nigeria, and the area I lived in was populated, like 50% of the population there were Ghanaians. So we always have a lot of Ghanaian food, the wanke and all of that. But what I enjoyed so much was their fish pie. Anytime I'm coming back from school, I'll make sure I save money, even if it means me trekking, so that I can have a little coins to come and buy this fish pie. I so enjoyed it. I so enjoyed it. But I think now we don't really have it common like before. The last time, that's some 5, 6, 7 years back, I think. The last time I saw this fish pie in Nigeria was actually in CMS, a popular area in Lagos, Nigeria. So now the fish is well fried. It's ready. While frying, I added a cube of seasoning to it. So now we just spread and allow it to cool while we make our pastry crust. Okay, so onions is actually the secret to that savory pastry. I'm going to just grate half of these onions we have here, and then measuring out the flour now. Measuring out 4 cups of flour. I'll be putting all of the ingredient list in the description box, and also a link to sweet Adjeley's video, the 2 videos she made using this recipe, the savory chin chin and also the one she used, the meat pie, fried meat pie pastry. Both are savory pastry, which you can also try out. The difference in the chin chin is that she added garlic to it. So to my flour I had a teaspoon of salt and also baking powder. Now I'm adding cold butter chopped into small bits, and then I'm just going to mix. We are not aiming for a breadcrumbs dough, but rather we want it to be very smooth. So I'm going to mix it properly until it becomes quite fine, because we are frying, we are not baking. That's the reason why. If you watch Sweet Adjeley's video, she also did the same thing, so I'm following her steps. Now we'll be adding our onions, the grated onions, to the mixture, and then water. The water I'll be adding is just bit by bit, not all, until you get your desired texture. If you pour all the water at once, you may end up having very watery paste, and then you'll be needing to add more flour, and at the end of the day you end up not having a good pastry. So I'll just mix until we have our desired texture, and then we are going to allow the dough rest for like 15 minutes before we start rolling out. So I got my desired texture, and I'm just dividing the dough into two. I'm going to just cover. If you don't have something to cover, you can just use a cling film to wrap your dough so that it doesn't dry out, and set it aside for 15 minutes. So next is the rolling. Now time for us to roll the dough. For this frying pie, it is very important to roll it very thin. Very thin, like you can see there. Very thin. If you've watched to this point, I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for watching. I'm just going to roll 2, and then I'll be rolling the rest off the camera, and then we can fry. So I'm putting in the fish here. I forgot to mention earlier, while frying the fish, you can decide to add vegetables to your filling as well. When you do add vegetables, you need a binder. That's your corn flour with water, which makes your slurry. So now I'm just using water to brush the edges so as to enable the dough to close up well. Pressing it down, and then we're going to do our signature fork. Our signature fork sign. But one thing I remember very well from the fish pie sold was that their fork signature was also very long. So this first one I rolled out was like, okay, homemade one. The second one I'm going to roll out, I'm going to make the fork sign to be very long, not short like the first one. So this second one is more like the one they sell outside, with very little filling inside. So their concentration was on the crust. And there's something also noticed, that the top layer was not always on the same the same level with the down layer. The crust wasn't always on the same level like we do normally with our homemade meat pie or fish pie. So that's what I tried to replicate here. That's it. So from the recipe I got 10 pieces of this fish pie. Now we are going to be frying it. Time to fry. Hot oil. I'm using a small pot because it's not a lot. I like to drop garlic or onions in my frying oil, so I just dropped in garlic, and then we're going to fry until it's golden brown. If you've watched to this point, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for sticking around with me, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell if you haven't, so you get notified when I post other videos. So here it is, ready. Time for us to enjoy with our cold drink. Imagine having this on a hungry day. You're just coming back from somewhere, you're so hungry, and then you see somebody selling this, and then you have a cold drink by the side just to enjoy this. So refreshing, isn't it? So here it is, what it looks like inside. This was so yummy. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next video. Bye bye.